Hey Disney Channel, welcome to the set of our new show, Just Roll With It, where just about anything can happen, and usually does. My name is Susie, and I play Rachel, the mom of 2 great kids.
Hey, I'm Kaylin, and I play Blair, her TV daughter.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I'm Toby. I play Byron. I'm the dad and a super cool radio DJ.
Looking pretty dope.
And I'm Ramon. I play Owen, but sometimes they call me Lil Wewe.
We're really excited to tell you all about our new show, and we'll be back a little later to explain everything. So stick around.
What the fuck is this shit?
This is not a drill.
Just Roll With It was a TV show that aired on Disney Channel in 2019. I've never heard of the show until I randomly discovered it on Disney Plus, and I was both intrigued and confused. The show was a bit of a mystery to me since it didn't fit into any particular genre. Like, was it some kind of pseudo game show or like an interactive sitcom? Also, I've heard people describe it as Disney's SNL, which is weird because I thought So Random was Disney's SNL. Though now that I'm thinking about it, the theme song does give an SNL vibe. It's not every day you see Disney Channel trying something new, and they went above and beyond for this one. So let's find out exactly what this show was about, and if it was any good.
Let's go!
Just Roll With It was essentially just a regular sitcom, but with a twist.
You hear this sound?
You get to vote on what happens to us in scenes!
That's pretty much the whole gimmick of the show. The audience gets a chance to change the story in some way or another, which happens 3 or 4 times an episode. To be fair, this is an interesting premise. I don't think I've ever seen a show like this, especially on Disney Channel. It's been described as the first of its kind, so kudos for originality. Now, with all the things that happen in the show, there are some safeguards in place. The audience only receives 3 choices, and the actors have no idea what they are. Most of the time, it's nothing too bad. Eating something gross or getting covered in stuff is usually what they get. Emphasis on usually. Some of the episodes can be a bit much, like that cockroach episode couldn't be me.
Must be out of your goddamn mind.
Then you have other episodes that are just hella random, like when they officiated a real wedding.
It's nice rings, it's beautiful. Y'all must be doing well.
And there's another one where Byron had to play against an entire football team. Speaking of Byron, homie gets it the worst out of all of them. They made him eat a burrito with crickets, fish, and mayonnaise.
Extra mayo for me, please.
They covered him in yogurt, put clothespins on his face, gave him a real haircut live. They even dressed this nigga up like a baby and destroyed his car. Somebody must have had it out for Byron. Now, you think they would have held back on the kids, but nah, they kept that same energy. Since we're talking about the kids, some of the stuff that happens to them is a little suspicious. Like in episode 4, where Blair had to make a sandwich with her feet. And Owen had to eat it? What the fuck? Also, you were a little too eager taking her shoe off there, Byron. It's already known Dan Schneider is a creep, but Disney, you got your own problems. I ain't forget what you did in A Dog with a Blog.
I know you wanna lick 'em.
Come the fuck on now, bruh!
I can put some peanut butter on them.
You did not have to do that. You knew you did not have to do that. How could you have done that?
Just roll with it. We'll be right back on Disney Channel. Just Roll With It is back on Disney Channel.
You don't stop.
Overall, the acting by both the kids and adults was fine, though the kids can really drag the show sometimes. And there are moments where the overacting can get a bit obnoxious, but I'm willing to look past some of it because of the nature of the show. Blair, played by Caitlin Heyman, might be my favorite character. She could be hella snarky and kinda treats Owen like shit.
A, you're my stepbrother. B, you don't have a life. And C, I don't need a C, cause B was a pretty sick burn.
Damn, nigga.
Her stories were always the more interesting part of the show, either by getting revenge on someone or rallying her own school to fight the power. Also, they did a Joker reference with her, which was hella random.
I am all clubs now.
Rachel, played by Susie Barrett, I like Rachel. There's great chemistry between her and everyone, but her dynamic with Blair is probably my favorite. She also seems to be the most enthusiastic when it comes to all the stuff they're forced to do. She's always down for the chaos. I kinda prefer Rachel in season 1. She acted more like a disciplinarian, but it worked with her character having a military background. By season 2, she's basically a mix between Byron and Blair. Not saying either or are bad, I just prefer season 1. Owen, played by Raymond Reed, he was the kid in that viral preaching video.
The oil, the oil, the oil, the oil, the oil, the oil that runneth over.
He's the uptight know-it-all, while also acting as the voice of reason through all the shenanigans. He started off as very whiny, and he has a actually kind of voice that just makes you want to slap this nigga.
When you're elected to the student council by an overwhelming majority of your peers.
But after a couple episodes, he kinda grew on me. Also, Little Homie was in Lion King on Broadway. That got nothing to do with the show, but it's dope as hell. Byron, played by Toby Winham, I don't know how to feel about Byron. There are some episodes where he's great. His comedic timing and reactions are always funny, and his banter and ad-libs with the other characters help add to the charm of the show. But there are some episodes where he's the worst thing about the show. Similarly with Rachel, it would have been nice if they'd given him more substance. In season 1, they balanced him well, but in season 2, they made him a full-blown idiot. He becomes nothing but a punchline. I know a show like this breeds this kind of character and humor, and in small dosage, it works. But there are times, especially in season 2, where they rely on it a little too much for me. There were a few notable guest stars too. Tayson Day was a talk show host, Raven Simone was a vampire, and Jason Earls made a guest appearance as Skeeter Swindle. He gets arrested in his episode. And for some reason, the late John Ratzenberger had a recurring role as their grandfather.
Yeah, that retirement home was getting on my last nerve. I can tell when people don't want me around.
Can you?
Just roll with it. We'll be right back on Disney Channel. Just Roll With It is back on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I thought this show was gonna be trash. But nah, I kinda rock with it. Besides the obnoxious reactions and situations, it's a funny show. Lose the gimmick and you got yourself a solid Disney sitcom. One thing that helps it stand out is the writing. Besides some of the subtle parodies they do, it's notably more crass than the other shows, opting for more of a straightforward, cynical style of humor than just being silly. It honestly made the show for me. Some of these bars were hilarious.
Claire, you can't just slap stamps on a bag of garbage and mail it.
Okay, then you tell me what just happened. No, mine.
Claire, I swear I will fight you, and I am so much bigger.
Little buddy, that's why you married me.
No, that's why I hired you. I married you so I'd have one DJ I didn't have to pay as much as the others.
The story was bad. Like, extremely uninteresting. I'm mad right now at my own son.
Now, don't get me wrong, there are some funny bits, but you still have all the corny cringe that comes with Disney Channel. Though one aspect of the show I found pretty cool. They don't always have scripts for the new stuff that happens to them, which leads to most of the dialogue being off the dome. You can't help but appreciate the improv skills. It honestly might be one of my favorite aspects of the show.
Can I keep it?
You can keep it if you can spell iguana. No, you can't keep it. We don't want that in our house.
Yeah. Rachel, you kind of look just like him.
Yeah, we should just move. That seems easier,
Good
right?
idea. I'm gonna light this on fire and start the car.
Yeah. Off of me, please. Get off of me. Get off of me.
Honey.
So is the show any good? Yes and no. It's not that bad. I've definitely seen worse, especially on Disney Channel. The show has a lot to offer. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. And because of the style of the show, there's always something different to spice things up. The show's pretty funny, and the characters have great chemistry. It was a solid show, and though I would have preferred more character development, that's not the purpose of the show. That's not what it's made for. This is not a regular sitcom, and that's kinda what makes this show so fascinating. Instead of viewing it as a regular show, I kinda view it like a ride, if that makes sense. Like you're really there just to see what happens. It's not my top 10, hell, it's not even my top 50, but it's not as bad as people made it out to be. Like if I had a choice between Just Roll With It or fucking Dog With a Blog, I'm gonna watch Just Roll With It. But yeah, if you find yourself scrolling through Disney Plus with nothing to watch, looking for something new, I can recommend this show. I did not expect to enjoy the show as much as I did. Sure, it's not perfect, it has a lot of flaws, but I was never bored watching it. The show had a lot going for it, and with a premise like this, it could have lasted forever. But unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was cancelled. To which, yeah, I'm not surprised. A show like this would have been impossible to film during the pandemic. And I wouldn't hold your breath on a possible continuation. Even though it wasn't the most popular show on the channel, Just Roll With It will be remembered as one of the most unique. But hey, you don't have to take my word for it.